Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The race starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening and welcome to the Midwest Motorsports Road Series Tuesday night racing. 29 cars have taken the grid with 4 races left. Mount Panorama in Bathurst, Australia is our circuit tonight. The 3.8 mile, 23 turn track is where we are. You can see it's late evening. Rain is expected. We left it up to the Tempest system, and it looks like we're going to get rain possibly right at the pit stop time, 30 minutes into the race. And the track will darken as we go. Travis Rowe in the M4 BMW has put it on the pole. David Stark will share the front row. Chase Fincher, your points leader with 4 wins on the season, will share the second row with Michael Odell second in points. Ian Bakaitis, your top AM qualifier, qualifies inside the top 5 overall. Jason Phillips in the Midwest Motorsports police car tonight qualified 6th. John Daniels, Jason Wahlberg share row 4. Jack Lucas, CJ Barzak, Justin Glickner share the top 10. And we are making the final corner. Once again, 29 cars in the race. And we're green flag. Travis Rowe in the M4 BMW. John Daniels already looking very aggressive. There's the police car. Going to keep everybody straight. And the blimp, it looks like everybody has made it through turn 1. Adam Sondag working the cameras tonight. Going to give us some great pictures as the track darkens. Travis Rowe already out to an early lead. Adam, we're going to have some fun tonight, man. The GT4s are underway. What do you think we're going to see?
We're here at one of my favorite tracks in the entire world. One I'll watch any sort of racing on. I'd watch 2 guys race lawnmowers on this circuit. Beautiful track. We are going to see potentially some chaos. We are looking at potential rain here very soon. Looks like Taylor Montague already having some chaos in the cutting. It looks like it might rain on top of the mountain, so we might be seeing some chaos. We're definitely going to see some tire strategy. It's not going to rain for a long time, but it will impact these drivers.
Of all the places for moisture to come, the top of the mountain is not where you would want to do it if you're a driver, but for spectators and commentators, it makes for a good race. As you see, the narrow S's go through the dipper, headed down towards Forest Elbow for the very first time before the almost 2-kilometer straightaway, dropping downhill 500 feet of elevation. That is considered a moderate hiking course in the grading system. Mild, moderate, and high. And Travis Rowe, your pole sitter, off to an early lead to see if he can keep it. Chase Fincher skipped some father duties tonight to race with us. He wants to maintain that points lead. Once again, 4 wins on the season. We'll see how it plays out tonight. So we're looking over. Everybody's made it through the chicane. Oh, we got a trip through the sand trap. That is Ian Bakaitis. Oh no, went from 5th down to 17th from his 5th place qualifying spot. That's not what he wished for, as Chase Fincher has gotten passed by David Stark. So great move by the BMW. I believe that was probably a slipstream pass into the chase and the chicane. We'll see if Chase Fincher and the McLaren can get that back. Michael Odell and Jason Phillips, the usual customers up front. But Travis Rowe showing that his practice time has paid off. And the M4 really likes this track. David Stark also in a BMW. Very tricky. The walls close in as it gets narrow and narrow as we continue to work up the hill, carrying all the RPM you can. Tires are finally up to temperature by now. Very hard, challenging course. Zach Alexander, we have some spinners here. That's Dan Gish. Oh, unfortunate. I believe that's turn 2. Well, yeah, turn 2. Unfortunate for Dan Gish. Hopefully he gets into the pits and can get his fast repair right away and save a lap without having to go tow back to the pits. Pretty unfortunate this early to get a tow back. Kind of want to keep it on the track, right, Adam?
Yeah, that's a nightmare place to have an incident. It really, everybody jokes with the Austin Powers driving the cart, trying to do a 300-point turn inside the hallway, but that's what it feels like, especially in these GT4 cars in the fixed series. You really do not have an ability at all to change your traction control. So getting the car to snap around, even if it's something that with a lot of power and rear wheel drive, it's very difficult to get turned around in those sections. And of course, if anybody's right on top of you, well, then you're in a nightmare. So not fun, but it's early. It's early.
It is early. Lots of racing left. It looks like Kyle Ryan in the 52 Mercedes may have got a piece of that incident with Dan Gish. Both meatballs.
And I'm sure the Hill's not done claiming ornaments yet today. There's the Tree of Shame at the Dragon's Tail, Deal's Gap, and I'm sure there's something similar over here.
Watching Jason Wahlberg in the black nose Mercedes, a 3-car train here with John Daniels just in front, CJ Barzak the third in this train as they work up the hill. John Daniels in the Aston Martin gets a little bit snappy on the power. See if he can carry the momentum through these. You really got to aim for the curbing, blind corners, blind apexes.
This might be my favorite stretch of any track to drive. When you've got the feel for it, it just feels so good to trust the car, to let the suspension take give you traction right here. Car loads up and you can power out. Really, it's just much fun as you can have. It's a literal roller coaster.
Really rewarding when you hit it right. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Smile on your face. Looks like Kyle Ryan's out of the pits, so that's good for him. Hopefully Dan Gish on his way back to resume the race. Top 11 cars are all pros. As we're watching David Stark here in P2 holding off Chase Fincher as they go through the chase.
These two now have a 3-second gap to Travis Rowe.
Travis Rowe laying down the law. Catch me if you can. I know he put a couple practice sessions together late nights this week, and it's paying off. The great qualifying spot. This 3-way battle continues. Will Jason Wahlberg get a slipstream on John Daniels as they go down the mountain straight, they call it? Big slipstream opportunity here. Can he make it work? We're riding with Jack Lucas in 9th. And here we are, Jason Wahlberg. Is he going to pop out on John Daniels? Not yet. Jason Wahlberg being very patient, knowing John Daniels is aggressive, but also prone to making mistakes. So we'll pick his time. CJ Barzak goes wide, a couple of different lines here. John Daniels goes defensive using the natural banking camber of the track to put the power down up the hill. And here we go into the rhythm section, almost flat out, maybe soft lifts, confidence lift to make sure that front end gets settled as they make it. Avoiding the curb if you're not confident The curbs will send you off the other way into a big braking zone here. Coasting behind John Daniels. Jason Wahlberg staying close enough. Let's see if he can get a slipstream this time, or will CJ Barzak get the benefit of a double slipstream? Jason Wahlberg can time this just right. He has a big chance here. Maybe a little bit early. He has to pop out to stay on the throttle. John Daniels doing a good job driving it right in the middle of the track, making the Aston Martin as wide as he can. Here we go, a little kink before the left-right chicane. The kink is to the right, so Jason Wahlberg around the outside is going to have the inside into the first part of the chicane. CJ Barzak going around the outside. John Daniels leaves room. Now he has the inside, and Jason Wahlberg goes around. I think they touched, but Jason Wahlberg side by side. I thought he left room. Side by side. So unfortunate. Jason Wahlberg has to just watch positions drop. Doing a great job with his rejoin. Here's the replay. Side by side. John Daniels on the outside. Jason Wahlberg on the inside. John Daniels leaves room on the entry. And, oh, just the slightest of touches. Of course, there was no intent there. Oh, CJ Barzak moves up a spot as well as Jack Lucas. As Jason Wahlberg recovers in 17th. Ron Kabilta's the AM driver. And the McLaren, Jason Wahlberg has to work to regain 11 spots that he's lost. Kicking himself. He was very patient for almost 3 laps. Jason Wahlberg felt like he had the pace. Again, I think just a little bit missed time on that draft. If he could have hung out just a little bit more, gained a little bit more RPM before dropping out, popping out, might have had more speed to complete the pass before the left-right. That's what we're going to see here in the Midwest Motorsports Mount Panorama.
Yeah, if you really trust your braking, and in these GT4s with the ABS, you can really slam on the brakes pretty late on these. So into the chase is a great place to get something done. But obviously, if you try to force it, you may end up in trouble. If you can get the other guy to compromise on the chase, then you may have another chance into Murray's corner. But you know, I understand why after you follow somebody through the mountain and down the hill, you want to get your move done. You've tired of looking at them. It's a long time to sort of need to worry about other things.
Is this timing any better for CJ Barzak as he's almost completed the pass? John Daniels, of course, going to go deep on the brakes. Let's see if CJ Barzak gives room. John Daniels taking the road, claiming the road. It's where you really have to know your competitors. And now Jack Lucas going side by side with CJ Barzak. CJ gives up the spot. Let's see if Jack Lucas can make an attack on John Daniels. I think once these guys both get around John, they'll be able to pull away. But catching him is one thing, passing him is another.
Something happened to David Stark here on the front straight.
He might have gone wide in the chase, or the
little action in the background is
Ian Bakaitis, I think.
Yeah, just a little deep. A couple cars in the background there as well, getting a little bit close to being over on the rumbles. There is some green turf beyond the curbing there, but once you're up on it, it's a little rough.
Driver's right of turn 1 on the exit curb, I think is what you're talking about. Here's David Stark with Chase Fincher. So David Stark in the BMW, second place at the time. And this is the final corner. Late as he possibly can, he feels, up on the curb, 2 wheels up, and round she goes. Full spin, contact with the inside wall, as point in the wrong direction. And like you said, almost impossible to do a snap turn with the traction control. He does a great job. Actually.
He did a great job.
Ian Bakaitis working Nick Calguru. This is for first place in the AM division. Again, the red designation on the numbers is the AM driver. As Calguru goes wide, Bakaitis side by side. And Ian does a great job getting by. Nick Calguru does a great job of leaving space, making sure there's enough room for Ian. And now Nick Calguru gets to mount an attack. Robert Snar in the blue 99 Mercedes is a pro driver. So not the same division, however, each position matters. So he completes the pass. I'm not sure if he'll be able to carry the pass and keep it as they go through the kink before the chicane. Snar does look at Nick Calguru giving space, but also very fast. Nick Calguru, we know he's fast. Learning his racecraft throughout this season and last as well. Glad to see Nick Calguru having a good run. Now he's going to be under attack from Dustin Reinstedel. So we'll see how that plays out. Move Robert Snar up a position. There's Dustin Reinstedel in the Denny Hamlin number 11.
Rest in peace to FedEx on the number 11 car.
Right.
We'll have to, but yeah, we'll have to get Dustin to make a new paint.
We'll see how that plays out on the Joe Gibbs side. I'm sure, well, there's a lot going on in NASCAR. You'll have to listen to the cool down lap as we talk about that on Monday nights at 8 p.m. The Midwest Motorsports Cool Down Lap podcast. We talk everything Midwest Motorsports, all 3 series, as well as some in real life racing. And Castor is our host. Justin Thaler, myself, sometimes Eric. Lots of guests as well. Adam, we need to get you to sign up for the Cool Down Lap and join us one
I didn't know there was a sign up.
Yeah. Invitation only, I think. See if we can pull some strings as Nick Calguru bounces off the concrete wall. Of course, if you want to get in the action, Midwest-Motorsports.com is where you can find us. 2 oval series and a road series. You're watching the GT4 on Tuesday nights. Friday night is the Craftsman Truck Series, mostly ovals. And the Gen 7 Next Gen Cup Car on Sundays at 7 p.m. There's the schedule. Always streamed live on Twitch, uploaded to YouTube a couple days later. Midwest-Motorsports.com is where you can find us. Entries are always open and always free. You join any time of the season. So we're winding down this GT4 season. It's been great. 16 races, 4 to go.
Yeah, if you're looking for somewhere to drive in a road racing series, this is obviously a great league. We've seen great racing like this here as 2 of our admins, Justin Gleckner and Justin Thaler, bump each other there off of off the Murray's corner. But we've really seen a lot of growth in the drivers in this league and their abilities and their talents. And also, I mean, we're seeing a lot of, last night there might have been 2 or 3 practice sessions that went up for people to join before this race. So if you're looking for a community that's active, someplace that you can actually get some driving done and improve, this is a great place to do it. So if you're interested, check us out.
I know everybody likes to use Garage 61 as well and compare lap times. I think a lot of the guys upload their times and happy to help. And it's great. We've mentioned this before to see some of the progression of the different drivers. And man, the racing is just intense, but usually fair and fun. Everybody's having a good time as Justin Thaler puts a move on, I believe, his boss, Justin Glockner. So they work together and play together as well. And Justin Thaler's going to have bragging rights if he can keep it. As you can see, the track continues to get darker and darker.
It's raining now.
And we have rain. Up here on the top, I don't see any rain.
It's coming down there now. You can start to see it. So might get a little slick through this section.
What's the key to driving in changing conditions, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you really just have to be smoother and more intentional. You really can't put in sudden inputs, whether that's braking hard or accelerating or putting too much angle in on the steering wheel. I think it's really just a matter of, wow, as we see a big bold move from Ian Bakaitis here. But it's I think really you just have to start backing things up and rolling on the throttle and trying to listen to and feel the car for where that level of grip is. So we've seen varied results with people trying to run dry tires in the wet and make sense of how these tracks are switching to dry and wet. But one thing's for sure is you have to absolutely take every precaution when the track starts to get wet and you're on the dry tires. We've seen some absolute trouble for people so far this year.
Risk versus reward. So we're looking at 39 to 40% rain. I've been told it's officially raining. So we're coming at the pit window is about to open with 40% rain expected to continue, and then 0% after that. What do you think? You taking wets? Is it wet all the way around the track or just certain areas? We're looking at the map.
Yeah, based on the radar, it looks spotty, and so it's hard to say what will happen here. It's not looking like the track is super wet. Starting to see a little spray coming up off of Michael Odell's car here.
Again, the worst possible place to get rain and, hazardous surface moisture, hazardous surface conditions. And then it dries up afterwards. It's really pins and needles. 9 cars, the top 9 are pros, as Ian Bakaitis made a great move on Justin Glickner as we were riding with Justin. Guru's lost a couple of spots, but seems to be holding his own now. Jason Wahlberg has moved back up to 14th, so plus 3 spots since his spin. As we're riding with CJ Barzak and Ian Bakaitis challenging behind. Oh, no, that's CJ that we're riding with. He's attacking Jack Lucas. In the 64, good run for Jack Lucas. We've seen him progress. First season with Midwest Motorsports, I believe. Best start of 3rd. Best finish of 3rd was Road Atlanta. 4th last week at Sebring. So keep your eye on Jack Lucas in the Mercedes as he's side by side. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach Alexander makes a move on the outside of Rick Bundren. Does he keep it? Oh, it's Justin Thaler. Looks like he's out. Oh, no. Justin Thaler went crunch. Pitch black conditions. We'll see if we can find out. Oh, it's pouring down rain. We're riding with Travis Rowe now. Really hard to get any kind of pictures, so we're doing the best we can. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, it looks like Justin had a crash of his actual game instance, which is why the camera can't find him. Because my dog climbs into my sim rig for some reason. Apologies, I was wondering what that noise was.
Hopefully, he wants to take the car for a spin. Adam, you can't blame him.
Yeah, her name is Checkers.
Okay.
More spends more time as wreckers, but we're learning.
Puppy, I know you recently lost a best friend. I'm glad you found him.
Yeah, we unfortunately had to say goodbye to our dear Pitbull Poncho, love of my life, but this new creature is really something. I was getting some truck slaps in last night at Kentucky, and she kept trying to climb in my lap as I'm trying to reach down for the H pattern shifter. So just accepting that's how I drive now.
Awesome. Checkers. Very cool. I dig it. Let's see if Dustin Reinstedel can move up a spot here. He's Nathan Westland in the Roxy pink Porsche. Dustin Reinstedel likes the 0x bonus points if he can get it. I know he's missed a couple of races due to work. A couple other guys notably absent. Christopher Hopper, among others. Dustin Reinstedel, this is only his second race, it looks like, of the season. So welcome back, Dustin. We're glad you're here, man. Stir up the pot. Here's Jack Lucas inside the top 10, P7.
And maybe we'll see Dustin more now that golf season is coming to an end.
I hope so. The races are always more fun with Denny Hamlin wannabe in the race. Very similar, but usually holds a good wheel. Jack Lucas, CJ Barzak, we're expecting pit stops any minute now. I think everybody's trying to figure out what the weather's doing. So you can still see spray on this section of the track as we work up the hill, spray off the tires in front and behind, just tiptoes. Saying is keep a raw egg between your foot and the gas pedal. Try not to break the egg using the curb here, Jack Lucas. Maybe it helps the car rotate a little bit. CJ Barzak right behind, looking for an opportunity without losing his own race. Again, risk reward.
The first taker for wets appears to be Kyle Ryan. So we do have one driver who has taken the wet tire. At this moment, it sounds like race control is seeing that the track is dry as far as their data is showing. And then I'm being told by Race Labs that the track is mostly dry. So we will see if this move by Kyle Ryan is a boom or a doom.
We'll keep an eye on his lap times. Right now, the leaders are in the 2 minutes, 16 seconds laps for the last lap, 2:18 for Chase Fincher, so 2 seconds on that last lap for Travis Rowe. Good on you, Travis. Done his homework. Jack Lucas in the pits. We'll see what tires he chooses. You can see on the timing tower, down in 27th place, the tire selection with the W is wet for Kyle. Here's Travis Rowe cranking out some very fast laps.
Yeah, he's being 13 seconds down the road from Chase Fincher is pretty solid, especially given Chase is driving this season. So Travis is just out there ticking off laps as he was in practice right now.
Steady focus, and he's got plenty of time to make sure that he's staying consistent, but he's not holding back.
Yeah, he's got about as much time to the next car up the road, which will be Justin Thaler in 25th, as he does back to Chase Fincher. So
watching Travis Rowe put the smack down on everybody as he comes in. Oh no, this is Jack Lucas on his way out.
On wets.
On wets. All right, Jack Lucas has made his bed. Pablo Araya, Dustin Reinstedel. Here, Pablo Araya and the gold BMW with Dustin Reinstedel and the Mercedes behind him. Both these guys on drives without a pit stop.
Yeah, the track for me is now, my data is now telling me the track is very lightly wet, and we're at 2% precipitation. So we'll have to see. I'm curious.
Great shot from Dustin Reinstedel.
Looks like we're about in the middle of the cloud here on the radar. So, and it's also about as light as it goes on the actual density for precipitation. So this could get interesting.
Smooth hands for Dustin Reinstedel. It's very interesting. Working on Pablo Araya as Dustin in the Mercedes goes side by side. He's going to have the outside when we get to the chicane. Let's see how they do under braking side by side. Dustin Reinstedel. Good move from Pablo Araya to give up the position and try to stay on the racing side as Dustin Reinstedel guts through the grass. There goes the 0X. And Nathan Westland now 2 cars back as they spin across the front. Pablo Araya chooses to go to the pits. Very good choice there. He went, oh, I thought he did. Nope, he cut through the pit lane to get back on track, but he spun
Wow.
the nose of Dustin.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy crashes there in Aussie supercars. Not a place you want to be off the road there in the grass over on that side.
Especially.
Might be lucky that wasn't worse.
Yep. Dustin Reinstedel rejoins. Here's a replay. Dustin Reinstedel, man, he's all the way over. I'm not sure I can blame Dustin for this. Just maybe some net code a little bit, but looks like there was room, definitely room, drivers left for Dustin to go. One of them racing deals, I guess. Pablo's not going to complain, but I'm sure he's not happy about that interaction. He's back on the road using the pit lane asphalt and gets back on the track. Still has yet to make a stop. John Daniels behind in the Aston Martin. Pablo Araya lets him go. The red mist. Pablo Araya, so if he can gather it up, make a comeback here. He only lost 3 spots. And now a 4th to John Daniels. But like you said, Adam, could have been a lot worse there.
Yeah, you never want to tangle with the pit wall.
Right.
Luckily, there is grass. It'll slow you down a little bit. Maybe. Wet grass might not be the best for that.
Grab a gear and go.
So far, the only other taker of the wet tire is Nick Calguru. So
Wow.
we have 3 on the wets. We still can't tell what this weather is going to do. It is the next 45 minutes of game time, which is accelerated, will still be at about 75% precipitation. So I'm not sure how much wetter this track will get or how quickly it might dry out.
Well, Kyle Ryan was the first one to go on the wet tires. His last lap was a 2:27. And for reference, yeah, Chase is doing 2:22s, so only 5 seconds slower.
Well, something happened for Kyle Ryan because he's retired from the race.
Oh, no.
According to race control. So not sure what happened.
Okay. Maybe wets did not work. There he is, out. Sorry, I was looking at a different screen.
No worries.
Chase Fincher P2, and he is 18 seconds back. And then right on his tail is Michael Odell. We've seen this before. Top 2 in the championship. Can see each other amongst the spray. Chase Fincher into the chicane. Michael Odell using some curving. Chase not so much. Three seconds back is Jason Phillips. So the battle for second is heating up. Michael Odell looks outside to fill up the mirrors of Chase Fincher, using an alternate wet racing line maybe, or just filling up the mirrors. Back to the natural racing line. Still a little bit of moisture coming off the back of these cars.
Yeah, it looks like the new BMW GT4 is really liking this track and these conditions. Travis Rowe, 214.16. Next fastest car is David Stark in another BMW, about 4/10 slower than that. So anybody else is easily 6/10 clear. So pretty good times here. Nice time from Robert Snar as well.
CJ Barzak in the pits. Jesse Coffey in the pits. We'll see which tires they choose as Michael Odell closes in. On the back of the McLaren, Chase Fincher playing it smooth. Michael Odell on the inside. This is not a place I would expect to pass. And he does. He goes in looking for the curbing. Chase Fincher sees him. And that, what a pass. Into Skyline.
Wow.
And Michael Odell takes that older BMW, M3, move him up to P2, and quickly, half a second, he locks up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I don't I don't know really very often that I've ever come through at the top of the hill offline from the Solman Park turn there,
Right.
coming into the drop. Incredible move. It's really bold. I don't even know what else to say.
Total confidence. Oh, as he locks up, he saves it. Releases the brake just enough to get traction on the front. Car turns in. That's knowing your car. Again, oh, he fakes. And Chase Fincher bites. So Chase Fincher from third place is now into the pits. Jason Phillips also into the pits.
You can see the brake rotors glow here.
I do like night racing where you can see the brake discs go bright red. Now's the time for Michael Odell to put in a fast lap. Here's the move, the pass. Michael Odell knows he's got some RPM and speed. He pops out. He's at the bumper. He's at the door now. Chase Fincher lifts just enough. And Michael Odell balls of steel, I would say, to put that car in that position. Hero move from Michael Odell. Unfortunately, he's 20 seconds back from your leader, Travis Rowe. As you see Chase Fincher here with Jason Phillips right behind. No, Jason Phillips still in the pits. On wets, Chase Fincher stays on dries. Jason Phillips takes wets, but he is.
Yeah, I believe that's Justin Thaler there giving the flashers.
Oh, okay, Roger.
We should have known.
Yep, of course. But Chase Fincher spent 13 more seconds in the pits. Maybe Chase Fincher only took 2 tires. Jason Phillips took 4. 37-second stop. Here's Travis Rowe, your leader. What happens? Again, 20 seconds on the curbing in the rain. Nice and smooth so far. Let's see. Oh, we got
no.
the car in front of him. Oh, does he stop just in time? He does. Grab a gear and go, buddy. Now, that's what 20
flashing, flashing the
Man,
brights. Oh boy.
Oh man, tough break.
Oh boy.
I believe that was Nathan Westland, who's trying to stay out of the way. Here we go again from Travis Rowe.
Yeah, I mean that's
Nathan Westland doing his best to try to figure out how to straighten it back out without getting in the way. He's doing his best, and this is where Nathan gets it wrong. We're riding with him now. Car's loose already, so he's trying to save it. Opposite lock to the left. Hits the wall and bounces right into the racing groove with the leader right behind. We're going to see him coming at us. The next headlights. Nathan doing a good job using the natural terrain to go backwards. And let's see, that's Nick Calguru in the 51 gets by safely. And again, there's that Austin Powers meme. We're nowhere to go. Here comes Travis Rowe. And Nathan's doing his best. Travis Rowe does great not to hit him. But now you got to do something. Grab a gear, Nate.
Yeah.
For Nathan.
Yeah, there's no good way to to wreck it right there at at the top of the dipper. Once you get gazooed, it's pretty much that's gonna that's gonna change your race.
But that 20-second lead should pay off. We'll see Travis Rowe now. Uh-oh. He did stop. Travis Rowe stopped and he took wets. Travis Rowe on the wet tire now. Michael Odell still on dries. Going as long as he can as Travis Rowe gets a little squirrely, putting down the power, waiting for these wets to warm up.
So far, it looks like the only drivers who have not taken wets are John Daniels, Brian Sarton, and that's it for people cars that have stopped that have not switched onto the wets. So
Gotcha. Wet tire seems to be the choice then. David Stark, P2, and the dries has not stopped yet. He's being challenged by Ian Bakaitis, who also is on the dries and has not stopped. I'm not surprised to see Michael Odell taking the dries as long as he can to see what happens. It's going to be so interesting. This race is not over. 20 minutes to go. And what is the decision to be made as the top 4 cars still have not pitted in? They've got to be on E as Robert Snar in the 99 is around. See if he can grab a gear and make sure nobody gets collected. Nice job, Robert. Jack Lucas comes in behind. What happened to Robert Snar? Riding with him in the rain. As they are, I believe that's the cutting.
yep.
Hard left with a little bit of banking. Well, quite a bit of banking. And he just anticipates, he's already rotated. Going in. It's the nose of the wall. And now trying to look at his relative, decide when it's safe to rejoin, and I think he does a pretty good job. So the top 4 are out of gas and are now pitting.
Yeah, I think that's the scenario where you almost early on I thought maybe that going to the wets might not be worthwhile, but the rain has lasted longer than expected. So I feel like just given the propensity of this track to take a chunk out of you, I don't know that I would be on the drives right now.
Well, that's not what Michael Odell says. He takes a second pit advantage and stays on the dries. Let's see if he can put those 14 seconds to use, and just with 18 minutes to go and a 2-minute lap, it's probably 8 or 9 laps to go. Michael Odell is your leader. Travis Rowe's on his butt. Here we go. Dry tires versus wet tires. This is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, perfect.
From the pole, this is exactly what we anticipated. And Michael Odell's only chance for a win would be to take the pit advantage and stay on the dries. But I believe the tire choice is optimal for the wets, as Travis Rowe, even in the wets, doing everything he can. Michael Odell, very skilled in real life racing, and the track should dry out as we continue, but there's only 18 minutes left. So even if the rain stops, will the track dry out? With 28 cars, I think, 25 cars on the track still, as Michael Odell has to go wide. You can see Travis Rowe. Michael Odell gets a good drive out. We go downhill.
Yeah, we have lost 4 cars already, so we are down to 25 cars.
If you're a betting man, Adam, you taking Michael Odell or Travis Rowe? 10 seconds back further to David Stark.
I do think that, the switching tire might change a little bit for Travis Rowe, but he looks so locked in. Granted, as the track has gone into full darkness now, markers have changed. You know, what you can see on the track has changed. But something tells me Travis Rowe really has a feel for this particular circuit in this car. So I think especially given that Michael O'Dell will have to take into account that he is on the slick tire when he is cornering and accelerating and all these sorts of things. I mean, I think right here you can already see Travis Rowe giving Michael O'Dell things to think about. And, you know, when he's already needs to think about backing up his turn, it looks like, oh, Travis Rowe's already up in the side of him. Oh, man.
Overlap. Can you do it? I agree with you. Travis Rowe is going to have the pace. Michael O'Dell on the outside using the rain line, should we say, the non-greasy line, trying to find any semblance of grip. Travis Rowe just needs to be patient here. I don't think Michael O'Dell is prone to making a mistake. I think Travis should be able to overtake him on speed. Maybe lap traffic may be a factor. Michael O'Dell, again, using the alternate racing line, trying to stay off the greasy, slippery line.
You're going to see that neither of these guys is going to want to be on the curb. That's going to be a recipe for disaster here. But I think that Travis will have more of an appetite for curbing than Michael O'Dell will. So especially once you get up to the skyline, I think it's really someplace that Michael O'Dell will have to watch out for curbing. So that kind of compromises his lines through the top there, which is really, I mean, you really have to let the car flow through that to get through it cleanly.
We've seen Michael O'Dell take chances there as he got around Chase earlier in the race. So we'll see if that still plays out. But Michael O'Dell, knowing that the track is pretty much one lane through the S's and the dipper down to the back straightaway, now taking a very defensive line into the chicane, making Travis work for it. Looking back now from Michael O'Dell at Travis Rowe. The race for the lead is on. 15 minutes to go, just under 15 minutes.
Word from race controls, we've lost a fifth car, so we are now down to 24 cars on the track.
It may affect the drying of the track somewhat.
The length of this course really changes the dynamic of the field being a factor in you know, overtaking the back of the field and drivers behind you. They're here with the pace that we've seen from these two. They're still only up to the 20th car, so only 4 active cars that these guys have gotten ahead of. So, I mean, we're almost 45 minutes in here. I mean, these guys have been really fast. This the nature and length of this course, 2-minute and 28-second laps. It's kind of takes some of the factor out from getting up into the traffic. They're about 10 seconds down the road from getting to Dustin Reinsteidl. So we'll have to see what happens.
Great point. 4-mile track, almost 4 miles. This is Travis Rowe attacking, being very cautious, not to spin. He doesn't want to take Michael out. He definitely doesn't want to win this way. I think he knows he has the advantage, but Michael O'Dell believes in himself. He believes in his skills, and his knowledge of the track is second to none as well. We've seen him make long moves, and even with Travis Rowe's unfortunate hold-up, about 12-second hold-up there with Roxy, that would have played a factor, but that's why we run the race. Nothing is given. We have to let the clock run down. 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Michael O'Dell's spray going straight to the back of Travis Rowe's windshield.
And James, if you want a definitive answer on the dry versus wet tires, Michael O'Dell, 2 minutes, 28 seconds, 5/10. Travis Rowe, 2 minutes, 28 seconds, and 5/10. So obviously Travis Rowe is following Michael O'Dell. So, but I mean, he's not been able to make a move and really get up He has been alongside Michael Odell, been quarter door, but he might come back in here later. Oh, not quite, but yeah, we're really at a place where this track is potentially can go either way.
50-50 for sure. Of the top 6 cars, only 1 car is on the wets. Unbelievable. Shout out to Ian Bakaitis in 3rd overall. Big lead. But on the AM division, look at Ian go. On the dries, number 22.
Yeah, and again, that's a great way to save on your pit strategy. These are 1-hour sessions, so it's unlikely you're going to burn the tires up on most tracks. Weather comes into play, of course, but as the dry tires give him some problems there as he gets off camber.
Testing
To
the
see how
ball.
that goes.
He's got 4 seconds, but he's got 8 positions on the next AM competitor, who is the leader of the AM division, Ron Kabiltas. So good job for Ian Bakaitis, holding strong if he can bring it home.
Yeah, he'll have 10 minutes of white knuckle puckered driving here on the dry tires in the wet and the dark here in 3rd place. He's got he's got 4 seconds on David Stark.
What do you do? How do you coach yourself through this? Come on, Ian, keep it together. Keep it together, James. one corner.
Yeah, whatever you can do to stay calm, you just got to breathe. I think one of the hard things is that when you get stressed out, you want to tighten up your muscles. You want to hold the wheel firm, but that's, especially in the wet, it's going to be about the worst thing you can do because any reaction you have is not going to be finessed. So you just got to relax, get a drink of water on the straight, say hi to your dog or partner or roommate.
Like you said, don't forget to breathe. I hold my breath a lot. Travis Rose got around Michael Odell, 8 seconds. So Michael Odell was a mistake. Travis Rose, your new leader. Riding with Ian. Ian might even catch back up to Michael Odell. I know Adam's looking for the replay, but move Travis Rose to the lead. Here's Michael Odell still in 2nd. So regardless, it's going to be a good showing here if he can bring it home. Under 10 minutes to go now. Not what Michael Odell wanted. 8 seconds and maybe at the top of the mountain. Here we are. Michael Odell. Spins it on entry following a car. Hard to tell just who that is. Looks like a BMW M4. Brian Sarton's out. Maybe Pablo. Maybe David. Who knows? It's all good. That's all it takes for Travis Rowe to go by. Here we are, side by side. Travis has got him. That's out of the exit of turn 1. So we're headed to turn 2. Travis Rowe in front of Michael Odell. So Travis completed the pass on the exit of turn 1. And Michael Odell, the trailing car here, just locks it up. Headed into turn 3.
He'll be kicking himself for that. That's tough.
He tried. He stayed out on wets. I don't think he was going to catch Travis on speed, especially if he caught wet. So he tried to pull a strategy still in P2. Chase Fincher, not having the race that he wanted, down in 8th place.
He has been making moves, though. Seen a couple spots here where he's been passing people.
For Chase Fincher, maybe he took tires and didn't want to. Tires is Chase on now, and
he's still on wets.
2 stops for Chase. As Jason Wahlberg is backwards, facing the wrong direction. Look at your relative. Oh, buddy.
And he'll just jump to the pits there.
Thank you, Jason. Discretion, the better part of valor there.
Appreciate it. It's embarrassing to get hit in the dipper, but It also is great for the show.
Yeah, even more embarrassing when they came on the stream.
I know I myself have been embarrassed to, wreck on the stream, but everybody does it. We've seen, you know, guys with a lot of pace have accidents and mistakes and things happen, and that's the reason the race is run.
Absolutely. Michael Odell, second in points, makes a mistake on stream for everybody to see. P3, Ian Bakaitis, under attack from David Stark. Nothing really to gain here for Ian. Just keep it smooth. If you get a challenge from David, let him go. Would be my plan. But is Chase Fincher back in the pits? Nope. There he goes. Sorry about that. P7. 2 stops. Quite a ways back from 6th place, Jason Phillips. .600 points between first and second, so Chase is going to take a little bit of a hit. Today, here's Travis Jones looking up at Nathan Westland in the pink Porsche, closest battle on the track. Travis Jones with the student driver paint. In Travis driving the trucks, he's pretty darn good. Crossing over to the Road Series. Two Porsches.
Nice line there to get down in the dip and get that rotation, but avoid the curb. That curb, as we've seen earlier, was it David Stark, I believe, that curb is a bit of a sausage.
2 wheels up. That's right.
Can you turn down a good sausage, though?
Not me. They'd kick me out of the Midwest.
That's right. Here he is, David Stark challenging Ian Bakaitis. He's caught him. A little bit of spray. The track looks like it's drying out somewhat. This is down at the bottom of the track, though, but still a wet surface as they go around with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
We are fully out of precipitation, but it still is a lightly wet track.
No new rain expected. Ian Bakaitis blinking at us. That's not new. What's up, Ian? We see you, buddy. P3, just bring it home. You know he's having fun.
Yeah, he's flashing for himself.
That's right. Trying to get a glimpse of the track ahead.
He's still got a little. No. I mean, if he makes a mistake, David Stark's right there. So
Sure. Again, 23 seconds back to the next competitor, John Daniels. So I wouldn't feel bad about giving up one spot if you had to. Getting 2 wheels off, driver's right, is probably not the way to go. The last thing you want to do is get a meatball here and have a big off. So I'd take minimum risk.
According to the timing, Travis Rowe's last lap was about a 2:29.1. Michael Odell and Ian Bakaitis all in 2:27, 2:27.5 for Michael Odell, 2:27.1 for Ian Bakaitis. David Stark, 2:26.85. So that is the fastest of the last lap. So it looks like the dry tire is performing.
All right. Can David Stark get around Ian Bakaitis? They're both on the dry tires. Michael Odell on dries has gone from 4 seconds back to 2 seconds back. Here's David Stark again, still on Ian. Is he going to make a move? Dry tires versus dry tires. On his bumper. to the final corner. Chrome horn coming through. I don't know. On the inside, David Stark. Ian Bakaitis tries to lean over a little bit. He's going to pinch David down. 20 seconds, Ian. You got 20 seconds back to the next guy. Side by side we go. It's a drag race. Down the stretch, the mountain straight. The next corner is a right-hander. Both on dry tires. David Stark on the outside. Ian Bakaitis on the inside.
Wow, they're having a flash off here, folks.
That's right. On the outside, now he's got the inside. The guy is going to have to give it up.
The hard thing here is that both from turn one, Hell's Corner, I mean, you really want to use the runoff as much as you can because that's such a long straight that David Stark had a compromised line by taking the inside there, and you saw that Ian was able to hold him off. But being on the outside there, coming in as you go around Griffin's into the cutting, the outside is definitely a preferred place to be.
I'm hearing the white flag is out, and we have a race for the lead as well. Michael Odell has caught back up to Travis Rowe, but I'm not sure if they're going to make it back. If the white flag is out, the white flag is out. We got 40 seconds as they come around, finishing the mountain run. Forrester's elbow and Michael Odell side by side. Can he get a slipstream down the back stretch? I don't know if they're going to get another lap or not. Race control says no, but we'll see. This is Travis Rowe leading Michael Odell. Wet tires versus dry tires. After that huge off, half spin and back on, Michael Odell is caught back up to the leader, Travis Rowe, 12, 11, 10 seconds. This is the race to the checkered flag. The chicane for the final time. Your pole sitter, Travis Rowe, in the BMW. Michael Odell is going to have the outside. He's going to have the inside line on the last lap, last corner. The inside line, Michael Odell on the dry tires. Travis Rowe on the wet tires are on the outside. Goes deep as he can. Does he get it off Michael Odell? What a move. What a race. Michael Odell is going to come across the start-finish line with the lead and the finish. What a finish. Oh, my goodness. Can you believe what we just saw?
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's like he knew something we didn't know. Michael Odell can see the future.
A few minutes ago, I was going to say that Michael Odell was one mistake away from redeeming me for thinking that the dry tire might be the move to stay on. What an incredible pass to finish that.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that's one of the passes of this season, easily.
No question. What a race. I'm still blown away. Ian Bakaitis will bring home the AM Division win. Travis Rowe from the pole finishes it up P2. He's got to be kicking himself. David Stark with a great run for position 3. Ian Bakaitis, your AM Division winner, in 4th after qualifying in the top 5. John Daniels 5th. Jason Phillips just outside the top 5. Chase Fincher P7.
Wow. Still some close cars together, being bunched up. A couple of packs here still after an hour of this place beating you up. Two and a half. Oh, Nick Calguru makes one mistake. It's like Kabiltes is going to get by him.
Coming to the line. This is for second in the AM Division. Jason Wahlberg, meat of the sandwich. Ron Kabiltes in the McLaren. Jason Wahlberg in the middle.
Oh no!
This goes wide on the final corner, and Nick Calguru is going to take home second.
Wow.
In the division. The race to the line is over. It's never over till it's over. Great catch, Adam. Nicholas Calguru gets P2 on the last corner, last lap pass as Ron Kabiltes goes wide on the final corner. Incredible race in the GT4 series. Midwest Motorsports never stops. Here's a replay. Jason Wahlberg in the middle, but Nick Calguru never giving up. Going past the pit lane. Ron Cabilta's in the McLaren on the racing line with pressure from behind, leaves a little bit of space and misses the apex 1 car wide for Jason Wahlberg, and either missed his brake or the moisture still on the track. Drying track conditions, changing track the whole entire race. Calguru says, "Thank you very much. I'll take it." As Jason Wahlberg, innocent bystander, in the middle, winning his own race. What a race, man! Of all the
Wow.
GT4 races we've seen, it just continues to get better and better. And that's everybody down to 23 finishing cars.
Wow, incredible run there. What scenes as we saw Michael Odell and Travis Rowe battle. Travis Rowe getting caught in an incident in the dipper, losing his lead at one point, which was double-digit seconds up the road from Michael Odell and Chase Fincher in their battle. Then we saw once Michael Odell had come back in and taken that lead over, then we saw that, we see a car going backwards down the dipper here on the cool down lap. But we did see that Michael Odell had another incident on the dry tire getting into Griffin's and lost that lead and was able to come back and make that final turn pass in the very final turn. That is about as good as it gets at a beautiful park here.
Do not take the hats to victory lane until the checkered flag is in the air. And that's what we saw tonight once again. But I'm joined with Ian Bakaitis. Ian, it's James and Adam in the booth. You got us?
I do have you.
Man, great racing, Ian. We were watching you. You had a little off early in the race, and you made it back up. The decision for wets and dries. Ian, there was a whole lot of action going on in that race, even down to the very end for you as well. Talk us through
Oh,
your
yeah.
congratulations on a win.
Thank you. I was kind of hoping to get a podium, but, well, Bailey, Mr. Stark took that from me. But he's a really good racer. I know we both decided to stay on dries. It just seemed like the pace was still there, and we just kept going, hammering through.
Yeah, very good for you. You were 20 seconds, and for you guys, you and David were both 20 seconds ahead of P5 John Daniels. So I'm not sure if you were watching your relative, but how did you stay cool, Ian? I mean, you got 7 positions to the next AM division driver, so a huge points gain for you tonight. How did you stay cool and calm as you see David getting closer and closer?
Um, I think part of it, we talk in a chat with each other. We were both kind of joking about catching up and losing the other driver. I know many compliments and many insults were spread. So it was just good racing between both of us. I've raced with him for a long time, so it helps that we also know how each other drive.
For sure, totally respectful racing, but hard. I mean, you guys were cranking out some laps in the drying condition. Could you really feel the track drying out? And how did you know to stay on dries?
Just I think what helped is staying out a little bit longer. I think I think Chase Fincher went to wets. I could be wrong, but we were kind of watching his pace, watching our pace, and our pace was staying the same. We're getting a little bit better, but the last 5 or so laps, the track really started to dry up, and we were really starting to get quicker. So I was kind of looking forward to catch up a little bit more, but I guess that didn't happen.
Oh, dude, there's nothing to hold your head down about, man. Top 5 overall, killer, man. Congratulations. I think Adam's got something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian, great run there. Yeah, absolutely. Being 10 minutes to go out going through the top of the hill on dry tires, still wet. Staying on the dry did seem to be the right choice. I was worried I was going to be made to look like a fool when the rain continued. How was the track feeling? Because it was, it didn't get higher in any of our data than the track being very lightly wet. So, I mean, I think it was a real choice between going to the wets or staying on the dries. How did it feel?
going through some of the mountain section, getting in, especially turn 18, that was the absolute worst of the night. That's I think it's called Forest Elbow.
Mhm.
But going through the mountain section, there were some corners where it's like, okay, I really got to back this one up, or I'm going to hit the wall. But overall, it didn't feel like it was slowing me down enough to really go for wets. And it was just a matter of patience and just getting through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, great run. Awesome finish. Awesome result. Shame to not get the podium there, but up against a great driver there in David Stark, who had pace all day long.
Oh
Actually, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if you were aware that he had a spin there in the final turn. That cost him some time. So
oh, he was mentioning it, but I didn't see it.
yeah,
Incredible
luckily
race,
he did.
man.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Adam, didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, you're okay.
Yeah, great racing, man. Big move again up on the points. We'll have to see how they all play out, but you've had a really good season, man. I'm happy for you to get a good run tonight, and congrats, Ian. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Great job.
You too. Thank you.
That's Ian Bakaitis, your AM Division winner. And now, the man of the hour. If you want to know what stocks to buy or what the lottery numbers are going to be tomorrow, you can ask this guy, Michael Odell. He seems to know the future and know that the track is going to dry out just in time for him to crank out some 5-second faster laps than the wet tires. Michael Odell, your Pro Series winner on the very last corner, the very last lap. Congrats, Michael, on a great race, man. I don't even know where to start, man. Talk us through your race.
Oh, that was. It's just. I'm happy to have the Page BMW back on top. It was just from the start was okay. It's dry. It looks like it's gonna sprinkle from the radar, so don't take it too seriously. Just nice, simple ride. And then into turn one, once I got side by side with David, and then on the run down, it just seemed like his car just found another gear, and I'm like, okay. And then once me and Fincher, we had that little four-way train going. I noticed both the new gens were pulling away, and I'm like, maybe the old girl's getting a little tired with the old BMW, but just because old don't mean it ain't reliable. Because the second the weather started to hit, it definitely was very happy in those conditions. It seemed like very similar to Montreal when it was drying up, and it really had pleasant power exit. It seemed like out of all the cars on the grid, even the mid engines, it sat the rear and just scooted nice and smooth. And if there was any hiccups, they were mostly easy to collect, minus the one I had when I was trying to keep up with them earlier on.
Coming up the hill at the very top of the hill, just before Skyline there, we saw you in wet conditions throw a move in on Chase Fincher that I thought was doomed for failure. Chase Fincher gave you just enough room, and you went inside of it, and I thought there was no way you're going to make it. How much confidence did you have in that? And just incredible pass.
Honestly, with that one, it wasn't there was a hair of like maybe not, but also I know that as a driver, my biggest time to do work is in the mixed conditions. So once I saw that I had that much extra speed, I'm like, if I tap the brake, I'm just gonna loop the car, or if I don't loop it, it's gonna get loose, and then now I have a projectile versus a car. And then, like you said, he was able to give me just enough space for racing room, and then I was able to get a good entry angle to where I wasn't asking too much in the mid corner where some of the dampness was. So it definitely helped. A lot of things lined up very well.
And then the last few laps, with major pressure from Travis Rowe, you decided to stay on wets. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but Travis Rowe got held up for about 8 or 9 seconds, I believe, by a car coming out of the forced elbow. But that put you guys together, and the 12-second advantage for not changing tires, again, put Travis Rowe chasing you down. He's on wets, you're on dries. The track is drying just in time, and you made a little off as he got around you. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that was. I think it was also with every other time I went through there, I didn't account. I accounted for just the track, and then when I followed him, all of that spray as well, and then once it kicked the right side a little bit, it just caused just enough of a wobble that I went mid track more to the right, and then once I picked up any of the just the dampness and on a rubbered in part of the track, not even a or barely used rain line. Once it moved back to the dry line on a slick, it was just game over at that point. It was just don't hit him, keep the car rolling, and don't get beached in the gravel.
You ran them down 5 seconds in about 4 laps. Just absolutely incredible line. I saw you going with the racing line a little bit and then off line as well to stay off the grease. So some of your real life racing experience coming into play there. You chased him down 5 seconds. And then the final move down out of Forest Elbow. Talk us through that last two or three corners.
So on that last lap, under the last few corners, I was really banking on one more extra lap instead of the white flag. And once I saw the white flag come out, I'm like, okay, I have two options. Either I can try to pull, I think it was 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds instead, because every other lap before that I pulled 1 second. I'm like, okay, I can safely pull a second. So I was just trying to play the okay, little by little, I can run the clock. It's in my favor. And then that white flag came out. I was like, oh, it's not. So down the hill, just trying to manage the car as best I could. Like you said, using the experience to know where to put the car to where it would just rotate and stay at minimum off the walls and not pinball. And then once we hit those last three corners, I'm like, okay, I have the draft down the straight. I know he's going to defend left. And if I go right again, it's just going to be the rubbered in surface and there's just going to be too much grease and I wouldn't be able to really hold on. So my biggest thing was to just the whole back straight, like you guys saw, just constantly stay in his mirrors, just as a hey, still here. I'm right. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Just enough to stay in his head. And then once he went full way to the left, I just went one car out and just enough to where it's not grease, but still solid traction. And then once I had that part, he went a little bit wide. Once he went wide, I just went ducked in, and then on that sweeping right down to the last turn, I knew that I'm not going to have the best drive initially, but if I can at least get the car rolling, that entire outer section is going to be a lot better in my favor. And if I can at least hold to his left rear fender, then I have a chance into the last corner, because then also that puts me on the wet line into that last corner as well. So I knew it just nail the one corner, and then that holds me for the next two as long as I got it right. And we had grip. The car happily just said, you know what? We have grip today. We're going forward. And held the side by side, and I saw him trying to pinch a little bit. And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be fun. And then right at the last corner into the braking zone with him on the grease side a little bit. I noticed him brake a little bit earlier. I just slowed my roll in the apex so I didn't try to overshoot or go into the grease on that last exit and brought her home.
Absolutely incredible.
Hey, David, Adam here. Great run. Maybe the overtake of the year there into the final run. Great run today. Way to keep it together, especially sticking on the dries and trusting that was going to work out. It was just between wet and dry to such a degree that it seemed like a decision. And by the end, it really was the dry tire that was putting down faster laps. So great run today. Congrats on that win.
Thank you very much. A solid run.
Solid run. You're going to make a move up the points a little bit as you get some points back from Chase, who came in for 2 stops. Maybe had some trouble as the laps wound down. But congrats, Mike, on a great win, man. We're really happy to see another exciting finish to the GT4 race with 3 races to go.
Good to be back on top again. Hopefully, can carry this into Holton.
That's it. Michael Odell, your winner tonight from Mount Panorama, Bathurst in Australia. It just doesn't get any better than that, Adam. Thanks again for joining me, man. This is what we're going to see as the season winds down with 3 races to go. You're not going to want to miss a single race.
Midwest-motorsports.com.
That's it. That's where you join us. To all the admins that make it possible. Thanks to all the participants for joining us. And Josh Watt running the stream for Adam Sondag. I'm James J, reminding you to stay in your lane.